Welcome to 10-Minute Topics, where we dive deep into fascinating ideas, stories, and educational topics, all in just 10 minutes. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply pass the time, we're thrilled to have you with us. If you're new here, welcome to the community. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Now, sit back, relax, and let's jump into today's topic. Today is December 13th, 2024, and this is episode 6. In this episode, we are talking about presidential pardons and their history, abuse, and moral implications on American culture. The presidential pardon is a unique and extraordinary power enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. Article 2, Section 2 grants the President the authority to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. This power has been wielded by presidents since George Washington and has played a significant role in shaping the course of American justice and politics. However, its use, and occasional misuse, raises important questions about fairness, accountability, and the moral health of American democracy. The concept of clemency traces its roots back to English common law, where monarchs wielded the royal prerogative of mercy. The framers of the U.S. Constitution included the pardon power to serve as a check on the judiciary and to offer a mechanism for mercy in cases where strict adherence to the law might lead to unjust outcomes. George Washington issued the first presidential pardon in 1795 to participants in the Whiskey Rebellion, a domestic uprising against federal taxation. His decision was driven by a desire to heal divisions and restore order. Similarly, Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson used pardons after the Civil War to facilitate reconciliation between the North and South. Such instances demonstrate the pardon's potential as a tool for national unity and mercy. In other cases, pardons have served symbolic or humanitarian purposes. For instance, Gerald Ford's controversial 1974 pardon of Richard Nixon was framed as an effort to move the nation beyond the Watergate scandal, though critics argued it undermined accountability. Jimmy Carter's blanket pardon of Vietnam War draft evaders in 1977 aimed to heal societal wounds from a divisive era. Despite its noble origins, the pardon power has been abused in ways that undermine justice and erode public trust. One notable category of abuse involves granting clemency to political allies or individuals with personal ties to the president. For example, Bill Clinton's pardon of financier Mark Rich, who was a fugitive accused of tax evasion and other crimes, sparked allegations of favoritism and corruption. Rich's ex-wife had made significant donations to Clinton's campaigns and library. More recently, Donald Trump's pardons and commutations raised concerns about the self-serving use of clemency. Among the recipients were individuals convicted of lying to Congress or obstructing investigations into his administration, as well as political allies like Roger Stone and Paul Manafort. Critics argue that such actions weaponize the pardon power to shield misconduct and reward loyalty, undermining the rule of law. The practice of pardoning corrupt elected officials poses profound moral and cultural dilemmas for American democracy. Such actions can create a perception that politicians and the well-connected are above the law, eroding public confidence in the justice system. When presidents pardon individuals convicted of bribery, fraud, or other abuses of public trust, it sends a troubling message: accountability is negotiable. For instance, when George H.W. Bush pardoned 6 individuals involved in the Iran-Contra scandal, including former Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger, critics argued that it prevented a full reckoning with a significant abuse of executive power. Similarly, the use of pardons to absolve allies engaged in corruption, or to preemptively shield them from investigation, risks normalizing unethical behavior and deepening cynicism about government integrity. Moreover, the moral implications extend beyond the individuals involved. Pardons that excuse corruption or criminality create a culture of impunity, where public officials may feel emboldened to act unethically, assuming they will face no real consequences. This undermines the foundational democratic principle that no one is above the law. The challenge lies in balancing the pardon's role as a tool of mercy with its potential for abuse. Ideally, pardons should be guided by principles of justice and fairness, prioritizing cases of genuine hardship or rehabilitation. This requires transparency and a commitment to ethical standards. Reforms could help mitigate abuses. For instance, establishing a bipartisan advisory board to review pardon applications could introduce greater accountability. While presidents retain the ultimate authority, such a process would encourage deliberation and reduce the perception of cronyism. Presidential pardons reflect the tension between mercy and justice in American governance. Used wisely, they can correct injustices, foster national healing, and exemplify the compassion of the American spirit. Misused, they risk eroding trust in democratic institutions and perpetuating a culture of corruption. As with all powers, the pardon is only as virtuous as the person wielding it. To preserve the moral integrity of American political culture, it is essential that presidents exercise this authority with humility, fairness, and an unwavering commitment to the public good. Thank you for joining for this episode of 10-Minute Topics. I hope you have been inspired to think. Lack of education is the bane of any country. You can see the results of that around the world. Please share this channel with friends and family. No matter which side you are on, intelligent discourse is always the answer. Peace to you, my friends.